Kyle Ron fans, no Disney Trilogy fans. We do this for the love of Star Wars. And I am your chaos coordinator, your Wookiee Wrangler, your scoundrel scheduler, and I'm here to talk a little bit about an article that I saw because today is the big investment day from Variety. Now, I'm gonna juxtaposition this. Vader fan sent me a link to an article that was attached to Giant Freaking Robot, which is not a legit source, claiming that Daisy Ridley was in talks to rejoin Star Wars again. Bullshit. Okay. Hey, Matt Piranha. And the reason why I say it's bullshit is because first, Giant Freaking Robot is a notorious clickbait site. Second of all, right now, the story I'm going to tell you from Variety is going to explain why this is all bullshit. Okay, so let's go into it. So here's the story. It's on Variety. I put a link in the description. There's Bob Chapek. So let's talk a little bit about what this means. Bruised egos and everything, who cares? So, the Walt Disney Company is in the throes of major leadership shift. With newly minted CEO Bob Chapek asserting more authority as a longtime leader, he replaced Bob Iger, prepares to surrender his executive chairman role for emeritus status at year's end. Afternoon, old redneck nerd. The two men's once warm relationship has grown strained, according to 4 insiders. This comes as Chapek is overseeing a 2020 reorganization that centralized the media company's content distribution and ad sales. At the corporate level, and this is big. Afternoon Vader fanatic. At the corporate level, Iger has moved much more into the background than he was even a few months ago, even on the creative side, insiders say. In a sign of leadership change taking place, Chapek has not only joined Iger in creative meetings, but actually convened some this spring with top creative teams in television under Peter Rice and Dana Walden. All right, first off, I'm going to say this. When the Gina Carano thing started, and we were all freaking out, they fired her. I think whoever it was who forced the issue after she posted that that meme, looked at Iger phasing out, Chapek phasing in, Chapek in their own minds being weak, not really understanding what's going on, and talked Kennedy into making a statement that Gina wouldn't be back. Well, I guess that just came back and bit him in the ass, didn't it? So everyone is becoming more and more deferential to Chapek, according to one Disney executive who asked not to be identified. Things are radically different than they were 6 months ago. The insider noted that the senior leaders have tried to insulate the creative teams from all the upheaval. It doesn't help that the creative teams, at least one of them, has an incompetent bitch running the show, and basically the show being run by, in my opinion, a bunch of Sandinistas, Maoist, angry, bitter people who have no adult skills whatsoever and can't deal with differences of opinion. Howdy, Senator Dave. Others say that Chapek was initially hesitant to assert himself on the more creative side because after he assumed CEO job in February 2020, his attention was focused largely on dealing with keeping Disney afloat at the height of the pandemic after the company's theme parks were forced to shut down, production halted, and movie theaters closed. For the most part, Chapek's style has gotten positive reviews. He lacks Iger's flash and charisma, but as an insider notes, he's coming into his own. He lets you know what he wants without imposing it. Iger loved to discuss and debate different initiatives, while Chapek prefers to delegate more tasks and makes decisions. Disney sources points out that the two have very different personalities and approaches, which some can find disconcerting at times. To some inside the media company, Disney's move last October to restructure its operations elevated the executives who distribute Disney movies and shows over the ones who actually oversees their productions. That is interesting to me, why they would do that. The shakeup also granted great deal of influence to a top Chapek ally, Kareem Daniel, who was elevated to chairman of Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution from his previous role of overseeing consumer products. I'm going to say this about Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek gave money to the Trump campaign. All right, Bob Chapek isn't glitzy, glamorous, virtue signaling Hollywood. If you notice, when those documents were leaked about the white "Don't be so white" program that Disney had instilled, they disappeared. Those programs were instilled while Iger was still running a lot, and I don't think Chapek likes that. Chapek is a bottom line numbers guy. He's an accountant. And I don't think he looks at things like that the way that a woke or a person pretending to be woke would. If it doesn't translate into numbers and money and dollars, Chapek probably isn't going to support it. Okay. And that is definitely not happening. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. But it's a very different place with a very different organization. A Disney insider said Kareem has huge authority and power. Disney's reorganization of its media and entertainment business into three distinct content creation groups, studios, general entertainment, and sports, has caused consternation for some senior managers as well as those doing business with the company. The organization was aimed at better positioning Disney for the future that would be determined by the success of its streaming. Okay. The goal, at least on paper, was to have people work more harmoniously across mediums from television to film to Disney Plus. The result has left people deeply confused about how to navigate the new order. Gotta understand, what's going on is there's a lot of people there that grew up in a Hollywood that used to be. And I'm gonna add, the wokesters don't know this, but they're still humming around in what they think Hollywood is still. And it's not anymore. It's not even from the same as it was from 2 years ago. Okay. That's the problem there. That's why they're having a problem here. I have a lot of friends who are independent filmmakers. One just got a message. He directed a movie called Past Shadows. It's a Christian movie. I haven't seen it. Corbin Burnson starred in it. He basically just said that they're going to it's going to go on streaming and be distributed in August. So, in restructuring, top division heads have lost oversight of PNL, which has been a tough pill to swallow for the likes of FX chief John Landgraf and Peter Rice, the chairman of Disney General Entertainment Content, who has grown frustrated that some of his responsibilities have been taken away. That control was an integral part of running their respective business units, given that those who deliver the best profit loss numbers to their corporate chief often had the most authority and swagger on the lot. Now the creative side doesn't have those bragging rights, which means they spend money on content while the distribution side takes the revenue and all the glory. I would say Chapek does, but let me finish this. When Iger departs in December, it is expected that Walt Disney Studios chief executive officer, and this is the big one, this is a key, this is why I know that Kennedy's leaving too. Walt Disney Studios Chief Executive Officer Alan Horn will also leave. Horn's departure could also be destabilizing, as he has been the creative guiding force at the studio for the past 9 years. Walt Disney Studio doesn't not not only kind of does its own thing, but Horn was very much involved with Kennedy at Lucasfilm. He was one of her big allies. And if he's leaving, I mean, he's an old woke guy, you know, and if he's leaving, this is a big deal. This is a big goddamn deal. Or to quote Jimmy Carter too, it's a big fucking deal. Okay. All right. Destabilizing past 9 years. When he joined the studio in 2012, the creative writing ball. Creative wrecking ball. 2012, after a long, successful tenure at Warner Brothers, Horn was tasked with reinvigorating the film division that had suffered from a string of high-profile flops such as The Lone Ranger, John Carter, as well as the turbulent leadership of Rick Ross, a former Disney Channel chief who had conflicts with some of the managers, including heads of Pixar. When he joined Disney, Horn was an avuncular and deeply respected executive, promised that there would be harmony in the Magic Kingdom again. I fully expect to be a stabilizing force, Horn vowed. All I want to do is be helpful and keep the waters calm as can be. So, Alan Bergman, the former co-chairman of Disney Studios with Horn, has been recently elevated to chairman of Disney Studios Content, and he'll be taking the reins of the whole thing. Now, this thing doesn't mention, all right, we'll go down to this. Bergman and his team will have to manage competing fiefdoms of power to ensure that the studio's various brands play nicely together. These include Pixar under the leadership of President Jim Morris and Chief Executive Officer, as well as Lucasfilm, which was overseen by Kathleen Kennedy, and Marvel, ruled by Kevin Feige. These heads, Feige is seen as the most essential executive, having proved his mettle with the massive success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Streaming shows like WandaVision was successful. WandaVision, after it was announced in 2019 that Feige would produce a Star Wars movie, there were rumors that he would control Lucasfilm. However, insiders say that Feige is fully committed to his Marvel duties and has no ambition to lead Lucasfilm or take more of a role. Few details have emerged about the Star Wars, blah, 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 blah. So that's it about a lot of, it goes into more stuff that we're not even, they're talking about rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know why. Why don't they just do something different? Why don't they come up with something creative? Just because it's a franchise doesn't mean you have to reinvent it every 3 years. This article is very interesting because it's coming right ahead of the investors' call. We've got this book kicking Lucasfilm's ass all over the place. Even now, I'm sure. And they're embarrassed. We've got Pablo Hidalgo playing nice on Twitter in public. Just basically, putting nothing tweets out there. I think there's going to be an announcement today. There's not only just I don't know why he's doing that. I really don't understand why Feige wants to do that when he knows. Here, I'm going to push you back further. Here, there. I don't know why Feige feels like they have to go woke. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, but here's the deal. A lot of that stuff was already started before Chapek took over, and I think as he assumes more power, a lot of the woke crap will start to kind of go away. Oh, you should do it, Troy. You should do it. But this is really an interesting thing, because one producer said studios don't look like studios anymore. Well, hey, Maze. All right, you just take care of yourself, buddy. Pray for Maze. He had to go through a thing today, and I'm not gonna say what it was. Just send up some prayers. But I don't know why Feige's doing that. But again, we'll see how far it goes under Chapek. Chapek he doesn't look like a woke guy to me. Okay, he doesn't look like somebody who's worried about the 3 trans people in the world. Yeah, I need 11 more thumbs up, please. Thanks, Troy. It's just really interesting to me that this article is put out there. I think, obviously, it came from Disney itself. I don't know. I'm sitting here wondering myself what it could possibly be. It could be they're announcing Kennedy's resigning in October. It could mean Jon Favreau's taking over. We might not even get an announcement. We might get something that says they're resigning her. He might say that they're putting the Children of Blood and Bone into production. I don't know. We have to be prepared for bad news too. But I think the blowback against Kennedy, and that article that came out in Forbes was a shot of reality. It was a shot of reality that they needed, and that Kennedy needed to hear. Not just, you look at the massive ratio she got on the Oscars, and the fact that, Star Wars videos on that channel are still getting ratioed. Not as badly as they used to be, but they still are. It says a lot. Now, Vader Fan sent me this article from, and I'm going to bring this up. I started the show with that, from Giant Freaking Robot. First off, Giant Freaking Robot, if you ask anybody if you ask any of the big channels, Midnight's Edge, Echo Base Network, it is not a legit news site. They basically were trying to report that Daisy Ridley's in talks to come back to Star Wars as Rey. You look at this legit story. You look at Forbes, their article about, get your shit together, Bob Chapek, I mean. You look at all this, and why would they do that? Why? They're not, and if they do, they're stupid. That just shows that they haven't learned anything. You can't. Here's the deal. Rey doesn't sell merchandise. She doesn't sell movie tickets. She doesn't make, collectors like me and you and Star Wars fans want to go out and buy anything that's related to her. Where are they going to take her? I mean, what are they going to do with Rey? Because there's nothing you can do with her. Okay? You can't do anything with her. There's nothing else to do. Okay? That's the thing that absolutely annoys the fuck out of me is that these people, and it's clickbait, we all know it, you know, um, you know, it just, she wouldn't, here's the deal. There are a lot of young actresses out there that could be part of the Star Wars universe, and it doesn't have to be Daisy Ridley. That article is clickbait for Raylos, for ST fans, and I would say that probably either somebody at Story Group said maybe we should have these guys post this, or maybe the writer just decided to post bullshit to get clicks. I mean, when you look at how much money these people actually make on the articles they write, they don't make anything. So they have to put something out every day. Okay. It's not like, again, like you're working for the New York Times, Variety, Hollywood Insider, a Deadline Hollywood, or any of these other, things. Publications I don't like, but when it comes to stuff like this, what I just read you got to pay attention. Okay. You sift the woke shit and the opinion stuff from the hard news, and this is hard news. And these entertainment blogs don't understand how to write hard news. Okay. They make shit up, just like Mike Zero makes shit up, just like Star Wars Mag makes shit up for clicks. Okay, and that's it. They want to make money. And that's the difference from hard news, is because you're never going to get anything. And I mean, this isn't rumor mongering either. I mean, this isn't rumor, a grain of salt, Variety, John Smith byline, rumor mongering, grain of salt. All right. It's very interesting to me how this kind of came out. Okay, this is a big deal, this story. Something is gonna come out about either restructuring or whatever. They could say Kennedy, look, we're in a cul-de-sac of Star Wars news right now. There's really nothing out there but, the High Republic getting curb stomped by a book that was never published by Lucasfilm. So we got that. We got nothing. Okay, absolutely nothing. I mean, when Doomcock comes on and posts something, that's not necessarily news, but it's stuff we can discuss because it comes with a hint of reality. If you know anything about corporate culture, and that personalities can clash, then the stuff he talks about, the stuff that Clownfish TV talks about, the stuff that the guys at Midnight's Edge talk about, there's a dose of reality there. And we've got this story, which kind of lends credence to a lot of the confusion and everything else. Firing Gina was something that Disney right now did not need. Okay? Disney did not need that. And I am going to say this again. I think Iger went to bat for her. I think he did. He might be leaving Disney, but that doesn't mean you poke the bear. Okay? You just don't do that. That was a ballsy thing for her to do. Okay? Even as a joke. I mean, that guy would not think that was funny. All right? She did it for a reason. Thank you, Bob. And that picture of him and the Gina Carano Did Nothing Wrong t-shirt. So I think Iger went to bat for her. I think he and Chapek, when they realized what Kennedy had done by making that announcement, they probably lost their shit. Favreau probably lost his shit. Okay. And really, you know, it makes sense when you see the Gorillaz thing coming out. You see Disney putting her up for an Emmy. They want her back. Well, it's, critical thinking is something you're taught. And you've got to take when I see articles like that Forbes article we all know about. I see this article, I see other articles. You have to pay attention to details. Hidalgo and Filoni don't follow each other on Twitter anymore. Okay. Hidalgo doesn't follow Favreau. Okay. That's a detail that says a lot. Twitter might be a dumpster fire. I need more likes on this, please, 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 more likes. Hidalgo might be a human, dumpster fire. I got yelled at for calling him a cultural terrorist. And then Instagram yelled at me for posting it. And I made damn sure the guy who yelled at me saw what I wrote and then blocked him, reported his tweet at me. And then after he read what I wrote, I deleted it. That's how you do this stuff. I hit and run. Because Pablo is a cultural terrorist. He everything he's done has been to hurt Star Wars, has been to hurt to hurt everything, and when you've got, like, there's a great quote, I'm gonna find it because I saved it, from George Lucas about cultural barbarians, and you can't just walk in and grab something and turn it into something it's not. And that's exactly what they did to the franchise. Is that it? Just a second. No, is that it? I'm looking. But it's about cultural barbarian. It's about barbarians. Well, we'll find this one. Here, I'll show you this one if you remember it. Remember that? Get that ingrained in your brain. That's a BFD right there. That is a BFD. And, it's, this stuff just is, what the heck? I have to go through this whole thing again. Sorry, guys. I know I have this thing on here. The cloud doesn't, no, it's not that one. The cloud doesn't necessarily make it easy to find stuff, of course, but I will. But it's an article, and it's a statement by George. This says a lot about who Hidalgo is, I think, and who the story group is. Here it is. Hey, Gingerbread Man. And that's it. I mean, that's, he said that people who alter or destroy works of art and our cultural heritage for profit or as an exercise of power are barbarians. And Pablo Hidalgo is a cultural barbarian. He is a terrorist. He's the Mullah Omar of Lucasfilm. And he engendered and allowed and championed this woke shit. I mean, if you look at even his public Twitter account, he supports BLM. And you know, it you know, it's really just, yeah, okay, yeah, you got that. Thanks for posting that, Maze. It's a very important thing because right now what we're seeing is basically what I call the cultural Taliban losing the war. And if you remember back in 2000, before 9/11, the Taliban, there's a place in Afghanistan called the Bamyan Valley. And devout conservative Muslims, Sharia law Muslims, there's Wahhabists, do not want to see the human form in art. Okay, which is why they destroy churches, because Catholic churches and Eastern Orthodox churches have statues of saints, Christ, the Virgin, Saint Joseph, and things like that. They also destroy, you know, works of art from thousands of years ago. You know, like from Babylon and and Assyria and Egypt and stuff. And there were two life-size. There were two giant Buddhas carved into a cliff. I think one was 2,000 years old, and the other was 800. And they're pieces of cultural heritage that were offensive to them. So they took dynamite and blew them up. They're being rebuilt now, and I think they have been, but they don't look the same as they did. And that's what I look at Favreau and Filoni trying to rehab this circus freak show that Hidalgo and company have instituted at Lucasfilm. You know, I kind of see that there's an analogy there. Okay, Pence. Okay, Dave. See ya. Well, I have YouTube Prime, so. Oh yeah, I know. I mean, I know. I mean, they do stuff like that. But see, here's the deal: if you look at who these people are and their historical counterparts, you know, the Maoists. The Maoists went and, you know, during the Great Awakening, they call it, in China, and basically murdered intellectuals, artists, creators, philosophers, destroyed pieces of cultural history, etc., to destroy the past. You know, there are people out there, and Pablo Hidalgo is one of them, who actually believe that they can remake the past. Okay, rewrite it. That's where critical race theory comes in. It's bullshit. The those people in Germany back in the 30s tried to do it. They had their own critical race theory, didn't they? Okay, see what happened to them. See what happened to them. Okay, this is their Waterloo right now. They are at their Waterloo right now, and I think they know it. I think they can tell it's coming. I think they actually have absolutely no idea what to do. You know, you've got, let's see what dipshit's doing. We might as well. I'm gonna save this in one. You might want to go back to that. Pablo Hidalgo. Twitter Star Wars. All right, let's see. So he pinned that May 8th. 12 hours ago, he's posting stuff from scripts. He's talking about plot holes in scripts. Okay, fine, whatever. All right. Okay, this is huge. This is fucking huge. I want you to read this shit. This is funny AF. I'm screenshooting that one. Don't tell anyone though. He had to rekindle this one. This is one of his troll accounts. Yeah, he's getting nuked. They're gonna nuke him. Oh my god. Do you believe that shit? Do you guys believe that? Oh my god, if this is funny AF. So he had to nuke the old account. And he rekindled this one. But he still has the other one. The AQM / whatever account. So he can be a dick there. Oh, I really wish someone would say something to him about Maze. Do you remember when he got in trouble with Star Wars Theory? And he nuked a bunch of accounts that had been trolls, disappeared, including that Daily Plunge one. Yeah, he was Daily Plunge. I guarantee it, he was Daily Plunge. Yeah, yeah. In fact, I'm gonna say this. I think there are people on the fringes of the Phantom Menace who are very much part of his group. They don't say a lot because I saw names I recognized, liking some shit he posted about me. So I'm gonna say this. I think it was probably him. But then I think no, it couldn't be because whoever owned that account knew that guy who got himself arrested for fraud in real estate fraud in Florida. So, but it was very strange how that account disappeared when Pablo got in trouble. And I don't think that the guy who got caught up in all that crap in Florida would have been friends with him because there's some tay-to-tay between them from tweets a long time ago that I couldn't read. It could be Junkman. It could be Matt Kadish too. I don't know. I just know that there are people out there who aren't who they say they are and don't care as much about Star Wars and the culture itself as they do about being with the in crowd and making money and just trying to scam what they can, which is fine. I don't care. I'm not going to sit in judgment, but I am going to say this. I really don't appreciate people who attack other people for a different opinion. Like I've been attacked, and I'm not waving the victim flag. But I really find it odd if you're going to be on the side of the right side, then why do you make enemies of your allies? All right, you know, I don't carry grudges 90% of the time. Okay, I don't. I think it's immature to do that. But I also strongly believe that there are a lot of people out there who have it in for others for whatever reason. They make up, they've, and the reasons are never good. And they cause massive amount of trouble for people. And, I'm a person who goes on instinct. And if someone rubs me the wrong way, bothers me, rubs me the wrong way, makes me go, I'm not going to trust them. I've never been a person to openly just trust anybody. And I might play along with them, but I'm trying to see what the angle is. Because right now, everybody's got an angle. Right now, everybody's got an angle. And my angle is I want to see the right things done by George Lucas and Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and my guys, because they didn't deserve to see the things that they worked so hard on destroyed by a bunch of people who have a political agenda and don't give a fuck about anybody but their own narcissistic needs to have power. Because, as George said, it's a need for power. Destroy the past, destroy this out of a need for power. It's psychologically very interesting to me too that there are people out there that feel that way. I mean, it's really just it's very interesting to me. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about what we can expect today. I do think that there will be some sort of announcement. I don't think, excuse me, Disney can afford to not say anything. And if they, I mean, I don't think they can personally. I'm not advising Bob Chapek and Bob Iger. But I think that everything is coming to a head. And with Iger leaving and Horn leaving, everything seems like it's in a state of flux. I don't know. It's just very, very interesting. And to me, when I look at Pablo's public Twitter account, I wish someone would troll him on it. It's probably best to leave him alone. It's very interesting how nice he's being. Why? Everybody knows you're a dick. Everybody knows what you did to Star Wars Theory. Everybody knows who you are, and we've known who you are since 2012. Why are you trying to rehab your image now? What is past is prologue. Shakespeare. You are known by what you do, not by what you say. And what you've done has been shitty. Incompetent storyteller, incompetent human being, a bully, and a jackass. So I think whatever the announcement is going to be, it's going to be telling on him. Some people feel like he's just going to be left there to wither on the vine. I don't know what the reason would be to keep him around, considering the fans don't want. He is literally the face of horror and evil at Lucasfilm. I think he's trying to protect his job, Trencher. I really do. I think they all are. That tweet, let me show it to you because I saved it. They're having a video at 10:10? What are you talking about? It's already 11. It's already almost noon. Let me find out what I was looking for. I want to show you this tweet that I have from him. And being a person who likes to read and stuff, this thing really kind of struck me. I want you to look at it. Does this seem weird and nostalgic to you? Does that seem kind of weird and nostalgic? Well, it's 11. It's almost noon here, so. And today's Thursday, so something must be going on. Anyway, I'll be on for 15 more minutes, and then I'm gonna boot myself off because I gotta eat lunch and take care of the dog and go see the horse. But this is, Pablo, there's something definitely weird about that tweet. I don't care what anyone says. A rare visit to an old friend. Now, logic tells me that he said that because he hadn't been to the offices at the Presidio in a while. All right, due to COVID restrictions and them Californians being, to the left of Castro about shit. But I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it this way. There's something odd about that. It's not that he hadn't been there in a long time. My gut says he's being nostalgic. Why? Why? Why these, again, little details are the things that tell you more about what's going on. Oh, okay. It's Polly. Okay. Little things tell you more about what's going on, the details, than the big picture. That article from Variety talking about Chapek assuming more control, Iger fading into the background, Alan Horn leaving, other changes, tells me that everything is going to be changing all across the board at Disney. We've got Doomcock's stories and rumors about Kennedy leaving. I expect him to have a video out today. I don't know why, I just do. We've got Hidalgo being nicey nice on Twitter and people just kind of leaving him alone. I think I seriously think he's trying to save his job. So it's going to be very interesting going forward what happens now, today. Again, I'll give you guys a little heads up. There may not be an announcement. There might be an announcement we don't like. There might be an announcement that we all, start a bonfire and dance naked around it, waving bottles of Cristal in jubilation. It just depends on what is going on. And when I looked at that article and I combined things that I've, Doomcock stuff, Clownfish, Midnight's Edge, things I've heard, things I picked up just randomly, people that are top executives at Lucasfilm not following each other, the fact that Favreau and Filoni have not set foot in Lucasfilm proper in a long, long time is huge. Okay? These are things that we may know more. Trencher, we may know more. Okay. We just don't, Disney likes to hide the truth. Valiant Renegade said very specifically that he expected an announcement of a new head of Lucasfilm. Nothing about Kennedy. Yeah, that's the way you have to be is hope for the best. I expect absolute nothing unless they realize they have to address it. I think after the backlash at Kennedy, and you all know the big investors had to call and say, what the hell is going on? Did you see the Oscar video she put out? Did you see what people were saying? Why isn't Gina Carano coming? Where is she? What's going on with that? That's all Kennedy. That's all. I mean, they can point at, again, I surmise she announced that Gino would not be resigned because they didn't fire her because she wasn't working for them. Again, actors are contract players. Okay? They go from show to show, movie to movie. It's not like an announcement, Paulo Hidalgo has been fired. That's literally a Lucasfilm employee being fired, sacked from his job. All they did was make it public knowledge that Gina wouldn't be coming back. Okay. That blew up everywhere because everybody expected her to come back because she's such an integral part of Favreau's plans to fix Star Wars. Okay. And I'm sure the Bobs are like, first off, they were like, she needs to like, not necessarily shut up, but be a little more circumspect. Oh, I can't, Vader fanatic. I can't either. She could, Gina, every right to say what she said, didn't deserve to have what happened to her. I would have advised her, as if I was her agent or manager, you need to be a little more circumspect about what you post out there. All right? And the only reason why is because you can say whatever you want, but you're making yourself a target for those people that don't like you at Lucasfilm. Okay? You're giving them a reason to go after you. All right? I would have, and she's not a person right now in a position to be able to say in Hollywood, I'll say whatever the fuck I want. You can't do anything about it. Okay? She might be getting there, but even people with that power, you don't see Spielberg out there railing against Republicans. The people who don't have the power that want to virtue signal are the ones who squeak the loudest on the left. All right. And that's the truth. All right. And you see it, Mark Ruffalo, and others. Hire me. I'm a woke, whatever. But the people that can pretty much dine out on their own, do whatever they want, are the one don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. So, excuse me. I would have told Gina, you can say whatever you want. I support you no matter what, but please, kind of ease up a little bit, because you're giving them a reason to hate you. Okay, you're making yourself a target. I don't know if I'd have listened to that, or if she would have, but I would have said that to her. But what happens is Kennedy makes that announcement and then tells Iger, she dings not to tell Favreau. Iger has to tell Favreau, and both Bobs are like, you know, you didn't tell me what was going on. Or Chapek said fine and then realized what a bullshit move it was. Okay. I think Iger basically put it out there saying, you don't touch her. Leave her alone. And they wouldn't let up. And, you know, if Dubcock is right and Kennedy thought she was really putting one over on Gina by putting that out there, she's an idiot because it was the third time she went behind their backs. Leslie Headland, Gina was the third time. Shit, there was a third time, I can't remember it. Damn. I would say announcing that Rian Johnson had a trilogy before anybody even saw the Last Jedi was going behind their backs and just assuming she could do whatever she wanted. The woman is a menace, is an absolute menace, and it's very interesting to me how this all is playing out. But you know, I don't see, because she doesn't have the connections with Chapek. I mean, he doesn't look like the kind of guy that would really like her or get along with her. She doesn't have those connections with him that she had with Iger. And I am going to say this. When Doomcock talked about her getting screamed at, I don't think it was Chapek. I really, really don't. That yelling and screaming sounds like Iger. I think. No, not that. No, I'm trying to figure it out. It was announcing Leslie Headland was developing the Acolyte, firing Gina, and there was a third one that I can't remember now, but it was a pretty big one too. But she screwed up so much. I mean, hiring Lord and Miller to direct Solo, not hiring Anthony Ingruber because Steven Spielberg was like, hire my accountant's son. He's Destry's friend too. You know, okay, Steven, because I owe you something. You know, that was a mistake. Hiring John Kasdan to do the script was a mistake. You know, all of this stuff, you know, firing Gareth Edwards when they were editing Rogue One, and Rogue One still ends up being a better movie than everything else, you know. On and on and on and on. Making it so directors like Ridley Scott, Christopher Nolan would never touch Star Wars with a 10-foot pole as long as she and the wokenistas from Wokistan are there. Oh, you know, she hired John Kasdan because Larry Kasdan. It's, yeah, but he didn't write Silverado as his dad did. And his dad is way past his prime as a writer. You know, you can't sit there and say, Han Solo is my favorite character and then do what you did to him. You know? But anyway, I gotta go. My voice is going and it's noon. So I will see you guys later. Be well, behave, and I'll see you around the galaxy. And when we hear more about what's going on at Disney, I will probably be back. See you around the galaxy, and we gotta hope that they do the right thing today. See you later.